Hey, Saggy Seekers. I'm working with the Londa Tarot deck. It's night. Early morning, actually, 3 a.m. It's like my recording schedule has changed for whatever weird reason. I'm used to recording daytime, morning, early noon, and suddenly I'm recording at night. Are we traveling through the shadows of the zodiac? Is that what we're doing? An eclipse season, retrogrades, Pluto at 0 degrees. Aquarius, yes, but I think the fact that it's in 0 degrees is the most potent aspect of it. It's like the brightest light feels like a shadow at these times. Everywhere I go, it's like nothing seems like it is. I mean, things still look like they do. The ocean still looks like the ocean. My hands still look like my hands, but it doesn't, it also doesn't look like it. And I know I sound mad to you right now, but maybe as the reading will progress, I'll understand what the F I'm saying myself. Because I'm partially describing something that I'm feeling, but I still don't have the words for it. It's almost like the matrix is being recoded, decoded, and then recoded. And in the meantime, there's this screen that is put up that looks like everything looked like, but it's hiding what is happening to the actual reality that is being broken down to get reconstructed. I feel like everywhere I look, I'm looking at a wallpaper. The analogy of reality of to be a simulation has never felt so real to me. I feel like I'm on this movie set. In a room that was built for the purpose of the movie, of the story, but it's not really a room. I was at the beach today and I asked myself, is this really the ocean? And I know I sound crazy. Of course it's the ocean, but I feel nothing is as I remember it or know it. Doesn't feel the same. It it all feels like this overlay of what I'm used to. And of course, it brings out the Sagittarius in me, the philosopher. So it's inspiring in a poetic way, but it's also terrifying. You know those stories about people who die, but they don't know they died, so they keep living their reality, but they're not actually there and no one can see them? So they don't understand what's going on, like, because everything is there, but it doesn't feel the same. They're confused. They don't know that everything changed. They're like the last to know that everything has changed. Do you feel that way, Saji? Do you feel like everyone knows something that you don't? And it could be something that is about you, right? Or that involves you somehow, includes you somehow, that you should know. I mean, it is you, it is your life. You know, like when a child is being overprotected by someone or by people and they don't tell them what's going on, so they lie to them like everything is still normal and everything is still regular because maybe they don't think they can handle it, or maybe they don't think they're ready to know, or that they won't understand. And the child consents, but they can't point out to what it is because they don't have the capacity to understand what the adults are all about. That's kind of how I feel. Do you feel that way? Why am I tapped into this? It's your reading, so it so I'm tapped into your energy, right? It's it's like the divine is orchestrating something and isn't telling us, changing everything, but not telling us yet. Maybe your fabric of fate is morphing and you still don't know it yet, but you sense it. You're the truth seeker. You're wired to seek the truth. So your system recognizes that something is weird. People sound like they always sound. They look like they always look, but you can tell something is different. And nothing is ever going to be the same. And you're just waiting for the curtains to drop. For the wallpaper that is hiding the window, the new window, to fall down so that you can look outside and see the new view. Can't tell you what the new view is yet. Maybe the cards will tell us. 9 of Cups. Everything you ever wished and hoped for. And you're like, stop again, come on. No. I can't have everything I ever wished and hoped for. It's not possible. Especially considering everything that's going on. It feels so far away. And yet, first card out, 9 of Cups. I'm picking up suddenly truth or dare. What does that have to do with anything? Someone is going to dare you for the truth. What will you tell them? You yourself don't know the truth yet. Nine of Cups. Page of Swords and 6 of Swords. I see a missionary of some sort. someone with something to say and they want to say it in different places to different people. You know, like in the old days, they didn't have social media, internet. They had to, if you were a missionary, if you had a statement, belief system, something to preach, you had to physically walk the earth from one town to the next, from one country to the next, and speak at the town square. And if you had a gathering of 20 people, that would be a lot. The things that used to count as so much today count as so little, right? Think numbers wise, exposure, reach. The word greatness has a whole other meaning today. What used to be considered great is today basic. Everyone's a preacher in the age of social media. Everyone's a teacher. You buy a book, one book, you read it, boom, you're an expert. Or so they think, or so they say, or so they claim on their Instoosh. It used to be incredible value spoken to such few people. Now it's such few value, such little value spoken to such big crowds. It used to be the smartest and the bravest and the strongest and the most committed to actually be able to roam the world and spread their word. And today, the dumbest, the absolute dumbest and the most basic can reach millions of people. And you say, well, that's justice. That's good. Everyone has a voice. But we are now not in the age of the justice of a voice. We are in the absolute other extreme. It used to be that there was no justice, and even those who were brilliant, very few of them were heard, and most of them were not. And today, the dumbest teach. There's no respect to hierarchy of knowledge. And that's just the nature of our hermetic existence, right? In order to reach balance, one must first go from the extreme that they were in to the other extreme in order to reach the sweet spot. And we will get there because now we were in the other extreme, right? We were in one, now we're in the other. But society mostly sees where we're at now as the ultimate justice, Everyone has a voice. Yeah. It is good because it's the path there. But if we think that that is the goal where we're at now, I'm worried that we will stay in that extreme way past when we're supposed to not stay there anymore. Maybe the message here is take that little boat and travel from one island to the next. little at a time, one person at a time, one group at a time. And that would reach that will get you to have the proper reach. It's like, I'm thinking about individuals like Joan of Arc, and all our past prophets. It was by foot that they reached the world, not by our fingers, swipes, little hearts, likes. You scroll right through, you don't even remember. Today, we can't even quote smart people properly. We read it on the feed, right? But we don't remember. We don't even remember who said it. We don't even bother on remembering their name. If there's any dignity in you, then when you quote someone, then you put quotations around it, right? Many people don't even do that. I see people just copy paragraphs and put it on their whatever post, and they don't even bother to put quotations. And like, it's not your words. It's not your words. And that's okay. Because you want to echo this truth that sounds amazing to you. It's great. But if you celebrate yourself when you quote as if you're the one who phrased it, someone will just like it and scroll and forget you too. The message that I'm getting is how imperative it is to honor other people's words so that your words will be honored as well. And it's not about the egos, about you, the other people. It's about the words that were spoken through a spirit. The divine has given those words to a soul out there. And so to honor the words themselves, honor that soul, that person. All this wisdom, all this truth, all this knowledge that is so available and so spread out everywhere. No one remembers it. No one understands it. No one honors it. It doesn't sink because no one fucking puts quotations. And you're like, Morgainne, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? No, I don't think that. I think it's 100% connected. And stop writing nonsense for the sake of writing something. Oh, I have to post something every day. So, no, you do not. Post when you have something inspiring and meaningful to say. It can be once a month, it can be once a year. But when someone goes back to read you, you want everything that you put out there to echo deep, to be remembered. So it means something. So it actually inspires, makes a difference, whatever. Make a difference, sorry. I feel like everything is put on hold right now. Even if you're in movement and you go about your day and there's things to be done and you progress. Like that movie where he wakes up every day and it's the same day. Is it Groundhog Day? Or am I confusing it with a different movie? See? I do it. Every day is different, but every day is the fucking same. Because we're oversaturated. And it's leading nowhere. So nature itself just put everything on hold. It gives us the illusion that things are still running. We are still running, but we're not. It's like the hamster wheel. We're running on a hamster wheel. We're repeating the same things that were said. We claim credit for it. And we don't even say it properly. I mean, you get it, Sagittarius. Who else can I go on this philosophical yet scarily practical and realistic rant than with you, other than you, you know? The Hermit and the Magician, speaking of the prophets and the game changers. Yeah, see, that's the level. That is the level of those who should speak. And it's not about status or royal blood. It's about the value of their words and of their teachings. And that's who you want to be. Don't be in a hurry. Be patient. Study. Practice. Be meticulous and specific with your words, with your writings, with your teachings. Don't succumb to mob/woke mentality. It's not about what's popular today. It's not about what is considered good. It is about what is good. It is about what is true. Timeless truths, not political truths, not cultural truths, timeless truths of love and honor and courage and art that changes the fabric of society, not society that changes the fabric of art. Oh, I shouldn't say that, and I shouldn't say that. That's how artists think today. Everyone recycles. Have you seen the movies on Netflix recently? Is that what you want to be? It's a cookie cutter of scripts that speak to the lowest parts of our brain, the laziest parts, the addicted parts. Because they want to keep you hooked because of money. They don't want to inspire you. They don't want to transform you. Writers go by a very specific structure of screenwriting. The pace, right? You have them until that page to completely change the reality of the character, or else they won't get hooked. And then they sacrifice the essence of the character and of the story to hook you. But it doesn't hook you. You forget about that movie a second later. You don't quote it. You don't remember it. You don't know who wrote it, who directed it. You barely know who the actors were. So it didn't really hook you. Didn't really hook the people. You know what hooks the people? Meaning. Something that inspires them to dream and to pursue that dream, whatever it is. I've decided in the past week to go on a movie marathon. I watch a movie every day. I can't get myself to feel inspired to watch one modern movie. All I watch is classics, and they're great. And they're slow, and they are written well, and the actors are magnanimous and freakishly talented. All those past movie stars are freakishly talented. They're great actors. They're not just pretty. They're also pretty and sexy, but incredibly, incredibly talented. Very good craftsmen and craftwomen. Today, if you fit the cultural narrative, you're a star. That's it. And don't get me wrong, if someone fits the cultural narrative and they're also freakishly talented, I'm the first to root for them. But if they're a terrible actor and a terrible singer, or even just mediocre ones, I'm not watching that shit. Don't be that. You're an artist. You're a thought leader. You're a truth seeker. Don't give me that page of sword, nine of cups bullcrap. Just give people what they want. Just feed them. Don't give people what they want. Give them what they need. Don't give them what they already know, what they're told again and again every day. Teach them something new. Otherwise, you're not even the hamster on a hamster wheel. You're just the hamster wheel. Where are the hermits and the magicians? Where are the stories that grab you by the balls and don't let you breathe? And you think about that actor and you think about that movie and you think about that story for a long time after, and you can quote the characters. That's what you want to create. Otherwise, you're mediocre. You will be swollen, in this maze of mediocrity. King of Cups. What do you feel? Not what you think you should feel. What do you feel? That is raw, that is shameful, that is politically incorrect, but that is just and true and worthy and brave. I'm not saying be a shithead. Yes, be led by principle, by value, by virtue, by poetry, by love to your fellow men, by the desire to improve the world. Absolutely. But do it for real. Do it because you actually want to do it, not because you want to be perceived as someone who does it, because then you'll just be that fucking cookie cutter. So boring. I can't watch movies today. Makes me feel sick. It's like the only person in the music industry that actually writes poetry in their songs is Taylor Swift today. Why is that? Why is it that I can only think of one freaking poet in the music industry? Of course, I can't mention all of them. Of course, there are more of them, and I'm sure you can mention someone else as well. But the fact that I love art and love music and love writing and love storytelling, and when I think about modern songwriters who can actually write, I can only come up off the top of my head with one person. I should have at least 10 just, but no. Yeah, Don McLean and yeah, Tupac, but they're not here. They're not modern. They're not of today. They're not the young people that are being heard on the radio. And get me a young Robert Redford. Where? Someone who's deviously sexy but freakishly talented. Where are they? Where the fuck are they? Is it you? What did you write recently? Did you write it from the blood of your heart? Or did you write it because you thought that's what people want to hear? And how much did you cut from it because you think, that might be a little bit too triggering for people? You're supposed to trigger people. You're supposed to keep them at the edge of their seat, confused whether to fly or to drown. That's art. I am a depressed artist. Why? Because I don't feel inspired by anyone around me. I grew up constantly inspired by incredibly talented artists that I looked up to. Now, no one. Just a row of boring, sparkling mediocrity. This is a reading for the artists, for the game changers, and for the poets. Wake the fuck up and write something great. Or don't write it and wait. Ace of Cups and Knight of Pentacles. True inspiration. True inspiration will give you the buck. The big buck. The timeless name will put you in history. Written in history. You go with that. You go with how you truly feel. Use your blood as the ink. Not literally, please. And it will be carved in the Hall of Fame, whatever the fuck. I don't know. I have the news for politics. I don't need movies and songs for politics. Shove it. This reading is over. You get the point. Okay. 7 days free trial over on Patreon. I teach there how to read tarot, daily rune messages, and karmic shift and liberation. Stay magic. Stay true. I love you.